One more time. So let us start. Let us see that some more people will join because we have a limitation of maximum 30-40 minutes. So how we are going to do this is the first in the knowledge series. So here we will be talking about the winning strategies in the Indian building material industry. So it will be a 10-slide presentation. So the initial 15-20 minutes will be dedicated to that. After that, if there is any questions, we can take or we can make it like a discussion mode. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can post it in the comment box. So I'll be using a small presentation, and the knowledge what I'll be sharing through my experience, which I gained in the previous decade and the last 20 years when working in this industry. So let me take this through a screen sharing. I hope my screen is visible to everybody, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So might be I need your feedback because I thought of doing this webinar on a main holiday day. So might be we'll take a feedback. If that doesn't work, might be we can shift to some other day. So I thought might be the Diwalis and Christmas, but I foresee that there will be a challenge from the participants to join at that particular point, particular day. Today being October 2nd, I am sure that there will be challenge from people. So today's webinar series is on winning strategies. So at the end of this session, so I'll be sharing a case study, which is a live case study with data, everything to all the participants who have registered for this. So let us start with this. So the winning strategy, I am taking two examples, though I worked with multiple building material company. Two of the organization which I have taken, one is Jaguar Bathware and ICA Dulux Paint. ICA Dulux Paint, Jaguar is a very quite recent experience, around 2-3 years back, where I was associated with them close to 5 years. And ICA Dulux is close to a decade back in their decorative paint. So moving ahead, the strategy which I've seen, you can call it as like a strategy or a move, the quality differentiator which I saw in those products, we call it like very fondly like features, benefit, advantages, and communicating that well to all the stakeholders. So one of the example is, so I was fortunate enough to associate with Jaguar Sanitary Ware close to two to 3 years, establishing and scaling them up. And in that time, so whether it is the seat cover, the rimless, the sidewalls clean, everything in Jaguar Sanitary Ware was new. And everything has some advantage for the customer. If it is a urea formaldehyde seat cover, in a cold situation like in December, when you sit in the closet or in an EWC, you won't feel that cold. The rimless, it is easy to clean. The sidewalls clean, it gives a neat look. So everything has an advantage, and you need to communicate that well to the customer. Again, you look at a Jaguar faucet. The Indian problem, there are a lot of houses which are having only 1 or 2 floors. Water flow is a problem. So there is faucets, there is showers which work at very low water pressure. So, and self-cleaning showers. In showers, there is a lot of scaling of salt, etc. India has a lot of coastal lines, ocean lines. So a lot of cleaning is an issue. So self-cleaning showers, mix of air and water. So these are some of the quality differentiators these companies were able to bring. Now coming to ICA Dulux Paint, one of the famous paint at that time and today it's the Velvet Touch, which is an interior paint, where if you look at from an angle, you will see that sheen and that shininess of that surface, which is not seen in any other company, whether it is Asian, Nerolac, or any other company. So that's the quality differentiator. Not only quality differentiator, communicating well to the stakeholders. The stakeholders are not only the end customer, the dealers, the dealer salesman, the employees, everybody. So you need to communicate that well, then only it will work. Now the second is solution to the existing pain points. So if you look at the channel, money is a problem for them, offer them channel finance. Everybody talk about margin, but what you should talk about is return on an investment, like what you have invested, on that what you are getting. If you are invested 100 crores and if you are getting 40%, but if your sale is very low, there is no point. Then helping them to work with very low stock, because this adds to the investment. If your sales is hardly 10 lakhs, and if you are pushing that dealer or distributor with 100 lakhs of material, you won't be happy. Then display solutions, better margins, so etc. These are the pain points of the channel, the customer. So if you look at the channel, their pain points, you genuinely work for a solution for them. So that will give you result. Again, for the customer, Jaguar is one company in the bathroom fittings introducing MRP 20, 30 years back. So that is very important. So again, don't scale up your pricing and give a discount and fool the customer. So give always a honest pricing. Then talk to the customer about the advantages, so in their own language. Then after sales services, so one of the biggest success of Jaguar is the after sales service. Then ease of installation, your product should be understood by the installers, whether it is plumber, painter. So how to install, if it is a painter, how much liters of water to add and how much of coverage you will get. If it is a plumber, complex product, helping them. Might be in your own offices, there should be a setup which will help them to teach and learn how these are working. Then one more important thing for the employees, no month-end pressure, focus on business development rather than the commercial closure. This is one important thing which I learned. So if you focus on that initial steps rather than on the final steps. This is very important. So then we'll ease out the month-end pressure. If you look at a lot of companies in India, that month-end pressure, you unnecessarily pressurize your employees to take order, which will result in bad exposure in terms of outstanding, then irritation in the channel, etc. So this is another important thing. Then presentation. So like the presentation of the product, always emphasize on that premiumness of the product, right in the packing, right in the product itself, right in the display, right in the salespeople who is communicating. So everything, in every touch point, you emphasize on the premium. Again, one more thing, expand your network as per your strength. If there are 100 shops in a town, don't expand to all the 100 shops if you don't have that strength to do. When we expand and scale it as per your brand strength and as per your manpower strength. So that is another important thing we should take care while presentation. So distribution and systems, this is another thing Jaguar as well as ICA Dulux spend a lot of money. So in Jaguar, we had a live example of DMS, which is dealer management system. So before, a lot of MNCs actually really tried this. So Jaguar was first to come up with this kind of a system where they were able to capture all the customer information. They were able to generate a quote in this system. They were able to give the right discount in this system. So that is very important in terms of the distribution. So like a supermarket where you can build out a product by barcode, this is possible in a sanitary ware and a bathroom fitting company or in a paint company. So we were ahead of time, though it took a lot of money and effort, but it will give you a result in terms of the customer belief and trust. Again, work with town potential and expand into rural. There was a good program in ICA Dulux by name Bharat. Bharat was a program where it was expanding into rurals. There are around 10,000 shops where the product was made available. Similarly, in Jaguar, the expand into rural is mainly done through another brand series by name ESCO. So this is very important. There are a lot of potential in India. Around 60-70% of India lies in the villages. So there are tier 4 villages, tier 4 towns, tier 5 towns. Everybody focus on tier 1, 2, 3. So you can get into that. So this will expand you to get that ultimate reach, because India has huge potential of 130 crore people. Then if you look at both these companies, especially Jaguar, so you won't see that kind of a print ad. You will see that differentiated ad, the digital ad, where a lot of banners, posters in the digital world, it will be there. The real cost-effective lead generation and the closure will happen. Be it a lot of painter meet or plumber meet, which we can see. Then lead generation together with the channel. You have your dealer network. Along with them, you collaborate and get into lead generation. Example, ask your dealer to come with you for generating or going into markets where there are new construction which is happening. Ask your paint dealer to come with you to houses, to high-end houses where construction is happening. Give your brochure, maybe do a sample. So this will help you to do a better marketing when compared to a traditional TV marketing or a print marketing. I'm sure that actually TV as well as print is required, but it is required at the right mix. So the more emphasis should be done in terms of the cost effective digital marketing. Then another thing, if you look at both these companies, so the danger when you start a company or when you are in the middle of your journey of establishing the company, everybody do a Me Too product. Okay, Asian Paints have Apex. Let me also create actually a similar looking Apex. Or some of the foreign company, a faucet has something like a hand shower like this. Let me make it exactly look like the same in terms of functionality, in terms of aesthetic, in terms of design. So initially, yeah, if you go to the market, everybody will be asking, yes, Asian Paints have that. Apex, why don't you have that? So if you fall to that trap, you will make a look like Me Too product, but you won't be able to win that race. If you are able to make some differentiation in terms of again the feature benefit advantage, which we call like fab, then there is a chance for you to win it. Never attempt a product which is Me Too. This is not only for a product, for your working style, for your channel, if you're making actually a dealership. So never attempt a similar looking shop to somebody who's already established. So that will be a trap. So initially you may get result, but on the long term, you may not be getting that desired result. So this is also an important step in terms of differentiating. Then one more important thing in these kind of big company who are successful, especially in India, this relationship building is a very key thing in all the important stages. There are few companies in India who are not genuinely trying, but if you ask me, since I have worked in multiple industries, so there are a lot of companies who are genuinely trying in terms of this relationship building. It can be foreign tour. In that foreign tour also, you should have that relationship rather than giving full to an agency. If you can get that connect with the dealer and family, so people will relate to that, and definitely there will be a future positive outcome to that. Even the dealer meet, if you can spend that quality time, if you can answer, if you can understand who all are coming there, if you can answer to their genuine queries and give a solution to them, people will value more. On the other extreme, I see some of the company who doesn't like this kind of relationship building. So, but a lot of companies, whether it is Jaguar, whether it is ICA dealers, there is a good connect with all the stakeholders, not only with the dealer community or distributor community, with the customer community, company to employee. That is also very important. That kind of connect, that team building will help you in terms of having the final win. So this is very important, which I learned, especially in Jaguar, right from the promoter family, right from the people who are employed, right from the network. There is a great connect. So that is another differentiator. So a couple of the key differentiators, since we are almost coming to the end of this presentation, key differentiator is one is there is no undercut among the dealers. Everybody is getting a genuine margin in the dealer if you can genuinely ensure that nobody is undercutting. So that will help the dealers a lot. That will ease the pressure on the salespeople also. And the premiumness orientation center is another thing, that knowledge center where we showcase the product. That was one of the starting point of both Jaguar as well as ICA Dulux. The color studios, which started by ICA Dulux, you just give a picture of your house. I'm talking about in the year 2005. These things were unknown there, and we will render with various painting combinations how your house will look, both interior and exterior, through a computer simulated program, and it was free of cost. And we can give, this is endless, like you want to do it in white color, you want to do in green color, this is endless. A lot of other people copied. This orientation center was also a concept established by Jaguar, large orientation center with knowledgeable people. So you give actually free service, everything, so free quotation. So these are a couple of differentiating things done by Jaguar in the initial time. So with that, I end my presentation. So if there is any question, I will be able to take that. Nagraj, Sudeep, Shishir. So since some of the people have joined a little late, I want a feedback. So I thought of actually doing these sessions, which is more of a knowledge gaining session for me. So during the holidays, so if you're okay with that, you can tell, or if you have some other feedback, no, this won't work. So let us do on a working day, might be a little late. That will be, yeah, right. Right. Hi, Shishir. Yeah. If you can come and speak, that will be great. So, Shishir.
Hi.
Hi.
So, like, after a long time, I'm seeing you, and it's a very good to see you once again on this platform. Actually, I'm just, visiting to one shopping mall right now with my wife, so that is why, I'm coming out right now. Okay.
No problem.
Uh,
No problem.
yeah. Anyways, so nice to see you there in this kind of platform and interacting a lot of, your experience with other people also, and definitely. Uh, the more people who are down to the line in the sales, they are going to get a lot of benefit from this kind of activity. And what I say, it's a good initiative. I must say, it's a good initiative. And in fact, I was also doing this kind of activity a lot of offline, but now trying to come up on the online also, because many of my connections are in the LinkedIn platform and other platform. So and people are just coming more and more in digital platform to learn and develop themselves. So that is a good initiative, and in fact, I must appreciate. I'll try to come each and every of your meeting in this kind of meeting, and try to be in touch with you to get more insight from your side, because I have worked in Hindware with you, and I have also worked with the 5 years in the tiles company after the Hindware. It's almost 6 years now. So I have got the exposure in the tiles as well as, and you got the exposure in the ICI dual. So paints industry is also is a good one to learn because they have a very good market penetration kind of things rather than sanitary ware and other people. So it's going to be a good learn. Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shishir. Nice, encouraging words. Okay, right. Anybody else? Yeah, Mujahid is asking a question. How different is paint industry from sanitary? Okay, yeah. So the scale of paint industry, it's very large. It's around 35,000 crore versus the sanitary ware industry is hardly around 10,000. And if you ask me, actually, the sanitary ware industry is following the paint industry in a lot of automation or evolvement, etc. So a lot of things what you have seen in paint industry, you can see that the sanitary ware or bathroom industry is following that. So that's the basic thing. So, but the complexities associated with the bathroom industry is much more because paint technically it's very simple. So like, but in sanitary ware there are so much of it related to water. There is functionality. There is service aspect. That complexity is quite different because paint you paint only an algae or a fungus formation or that is only complexity. You don't need everyday service. And this is very urgent. So you use your bathroom in the morning, and if it's not working, you get really irritated. So your service should be that 1-2 hours, like a fire engine, how it works. Like you need to be there in 1-2 hours. But paint, it's okay. You can come after even 1-2 weeks also. People are okay with that. So that's how it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Mujahid.
Thank you so much, Sony. Thanks. Yeah.
Hi sir, good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Nagaraj. After a long time. Yeah.
How are you, sir? Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Yeah. So you covered it very well, sir. Everything. Just I moved to a different company called Vega. So it's a premium products actually. It's like pipes and all. Yes,
I
of
know.
course. Yeah. So the products. As you mentioned, like lesser marketing value, especially lesser investment marketing, especially the digital marketing. Definitely, it will help a lot. That's what we are also doing. A lot of plumber meets and architect meets and kind of things. Again, as you mentioned, the product having a good quality, that has to be explained. That people should know, like especially even the sales staffs or dealer staffs, and again even the customers also should know to buy the products. That is very much important. Even though if you have very good quality, and if they are lesser, if they are not knowing much about it, of course it's really bad. So we should educate well, that with the depth knowledge. So as you mentioned, it's absolutely correct. So we need to into that track. Yeah, that's what I learned from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nagaraj. Great to see you after a long time. Yeah, there is a question from Dr. Khan. What is a good turnover for an MSME? So if you ask me, actually, so anything starting from 10 crore up to 100 crore is a good turnover. So to start with, and how much time it takes to cover India, I don't know in what context it is saying. Like as a dealer or as a company, I understand it is like from an MSME context. See, nowadays, because of digital and the connect, everything becomes easy. So if I recollect the earlier days, to physically carry the product to each and every villages, show the sample, create the display, etc. Now things have quite changed. So I think in 2 years you can cover entire India, and there are a lot of third-party platforms which will help you to take to uh, various various partners in India. So okay, so that's what. So if you want any help in reach out, you can connect to me personally, and I'll be able to help. It's almost time. I think we need to disconnect. Mujahid, anything else? And I will share a small case study to all of you. And I would like to have. Yeah, hi Sudeep. So right, We need to disconnect.
Hi,
There is
sir.
something. Hi.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
Sir, these kind of presentations really inspire me. That was the reason that I registered for this. And it's good that it is on a holiday. We can fully focus and listen to your inputs. That would really help us in the market.
Right. Thank you. You should also share your inputs. It's not only one-way talk, because I also want to learn, because the topics will be varying, right from management, building material, or the latest strength, etc. So it's very important. Yeah.
So one question was coming in my mind was if some brands, the brand value is a bit lower than its immediate competition. So in that situation, how do you counter and like how do you get immediate results out of it for your own brand?
See here, you should understand the weakness of them, right? Like, okay, if you're in the channel, you should understand that the margin front, and you should pick and choose actually the channel partners and tell him that I will give a good margin. You work with me exclusively. That is one method. If you're in the project, you tell him that I will give you an absolute one-to-one service. So then, because then that brand value eases out. It is like the common thing. You go to a neighborhood shop on the relationship, still you go to a provision shop, right? So your brand value will be less. So that is how, but it will be difficult. Is it? So though I spoke in a simple way, even in our life cases, in our own cases, you find it's quite difficult. It is not that easy. Anyway, so yeah, that's the only answer I can give. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mujahid, let us close it.
We'll wind up. Yes. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thanks everyone for joining. Okay, and we'll surely keep everyone updated on the upcoming Aspire series business webinar, and we'll have lots of interacting topics with Mr. Sony. Thank you.
Right. Thank
There's
you.
one more question, I guess. Yeah. Yes. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, Sony. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Right. Thank you. Bye.